So we're in the middle of a 200-year celebration of the formation of what ultimately became Long Memorial United Methodist Church. And my hope is that 200 years from now, we'll be celebrating the many things that we have done between year 201 and year 400. I think that'd be a really cool thing to say is that you've been somewhere for 400 years. I went to England several years ago, right after I got out of college, or a little bit after out of college, and I was on a group study program through the Rotary Club. And I stayed in a house that was a couple of 100 years old with the family that I lived there. But we would do historical kind of things, and they're talking about history, and they're talking about history from like 1066 and forward. And we talk about history, and pretty much ours is from the late 1600s or the early 1700s to now, and that's only 300 years, or 400 years, or whatever. So it's not really been a long time where we've had history. So I think it's really important that we embrace our roles and look forward. My hope and my desire would be for our young people who are in our church now to continue to grow in their love and their faith and carry us into the next century.
We need to have, and we have now, and need to develop an outreach to young folks. We're much better there than we used to be. I remember a time when we would announce for all the children to come down for the children's sermon, and there'd be one. And as I said earlier, I don't see numbers as our objective, but when the numbers are like that, then that is scary. So I think that we need to continue to have an outreach for not just our young folks. Matter of fact, way back when my son was in junior high and high school, I did that. But we need to continue to do outreach for young folks and to give them some connection in their youth with a church, our church.
For the future of Long Memorial, obviously with any member, I hope that we continue to grow and that we continue our growth towards Christ to become disciples of Christ. More specifically, I would really want to see more members just start participating more in church activities. There's something here for everybody, and once you get active in the church, it's actually extremely fulfilling and rewarding. And every now and then, you find your talent, and that is true with me with the live stream and stuff, which I've totally enjoyed, and it's just so much fun for me. I'm so fulfilled every Sunday by doing that, and I hope other people can find their joy in the church and do something active in the church to keep the church active and keep it growing and encourage others.
Let's see, the hope that I have for the future of Long Memorial would be to continue to have more outreach programs for the community, continue to strengthen those, perhaps think of others. I know that Pastor Ed was talking about, like a literacy program or something like that. That would be, I think that would be great, especially when I think back to the work that I've done with some of the students. Some of them need all the help they can get, and that's okay, right? Everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. So, I would love to see the daycare program continue on, and if I should ever have a child in the Roxboro area, that would definitely be something that I would want to have my child involved in, just keep on working with the community like they have for the past 250 years, because I see no reason to stop now.
During the time I've been a member here, I have been able to see the children in our church grow from little people who come down the aisle on Sunday morning to the children's service to graduates of high school and graduates of college. And I think the hope for our church is in those people. One of the most wonderful experiences I ever had was to be able to be the mentor to a confirmand. And that confirmand, whose name, by the way, is Caroline Cates, showed me that if we think like those youngsters think, then we will have a better church and more than just a better church, but also a better world. Here's just an example of what happened during my being able to be Caroline's mentor. We were sent off in pairs to think of what was our statement of faith. And she'd already written hers. And at the end of it, she said, and it was very good, and at the end of it, she said, I don't have anything in there about the Trinity because I've really thought about it, and I do believe in the Trinity. But I think if I have to think about it anymore right now, my head will explode. And I really think that people who look at their statement of faith like that are people who will be the hope for our church tomorrow.
My hope for Lawn Memorial is that we'll continue to become a strong church, continue to gain new members. We've been in existence for 200 years as a congregation. My hope that we will continue and expand, be able to provide faith in God to more people, and just keep the continuity going, keep moving forward, and keep moving ahead, keep growing, and that's my hope for Lawn Memorial.
My hope for the future of Lawn Memorial is that we would not only continue the rich traditions that we've begun in the community, but to continue to be a foundation here, a cornerstone for people to know that we're a constant in their life, to bring in more people, to strengthen our connections with each other, and to broaden our missions out into the community and even on a larger scale. We have many youth that have begun being involved on a state level with our district, and I think that's such a wonderful start for them in their lives. I hope that work will continue, and I hope that they will come back motivated to learn even more ways that we together as a congregation can reach out into our community and our world and continue making as big of a difference as we can with God's guidance.